Hello, love. So happy you're here. And I have to say, we're at part four of this just amazing series that Coach Jen and I have done on all things weight loss. And today we want to talk about the solution. And I want to really dive into how you can start to implement the things that you've learned in the prior three episodes, because that's it, right? I know you want relief. I know you don't want to think about this anymore. I know that you want to feel better in that body of yours. And today, I just want to make it really easy for you so that you know what your next steps are and what to do. And so, when I first think about this, in episode one, we talked all about why it was hard. In episode two, we talked about all the tools out there, the diet industry, really. And then in episode three, we really dove into like the basics of what we think long-term weight loss, what we know actually will help you get off the diet roller coaster for good and take your journey to losing weight for the last time. And today I want to talk about the solution. And, when I think about why I created Transform Boss weight loss and why to me it is everything, is because when I was starting this journey, I'd looked in lots of things because I knew, I had this moment, right? It was at a Weight Watchers meeting. I walked out, I had gained 3 weeks in a row. I'm standing in the parking lot, devastated, frustrated, weighing a weight I didn't want to weigh. I can't remember at that time. I probably at that time was, mid 200s, somewhere in that range. And I just remember thinking, I just can't do this anymore. Like I've done everything. Like I remember feeling so hopeless, like so hopeless. I, when I think back to that moment, it's a pivotal moment for me because I had tried weight loss surgery. I had tried like all the things, every diet. I had gone back to Weight Watchers 14 times. And I just made one decision in that parking lot. And that decision was, Shan, you're going to go figure this out. You're smart. Go figure it out. And then you're just never going to diet again. That's the decision we're making right now. We're not going to dieting because dieting isn't the way. You've done it. You've done all the things. That's not the way. There's something else. There's other pieces that are missing. And from there, I went on this journey, many year journey of finding what I have now compiled and put into Transform Boss Weight Loss. And I created it because I wanted a safe place for women who could come and learn how to get off the diet roller coaster, who could learn how to think differently, feel emotion, and then also do things differently in simple and easy steps. I want to make weight loss feel easy. I can't tell you how many posts I've seen, or I tell you, I have ladies, we'll talk about our community, but we have ladies who like, we see them, they post once in a while or they, come to a call. And then out of the blue, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I've lost 50 pounds. And they're just like, I love this work. And it's so easy because they come to celebrate with the community. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I swear, I love this work because it's so powerful. And I love celebrating with them. And that's what I want. I want it to be easy. This shouldn't be a part-time job. You don't have to be in our community every day. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to come to every call, right? None of that. You figure out how to make this really easy so that it fits in your life because ultimately, you want success. You want to feel those wins. You want to feel relief in your body. You want to think differently. You want to be able to eat the foods that you want. And so, when I think about the solution is making it easy, starting with one or two things, and then going back to Jen to this whole part about learning how to fail, learning how to lose all of these thoughts around, I've got to do it perfectly. And I know some of you identify as perfectionists, but many of you don't because you see areas of your life where you're like, oh, I'm not perfect, But I can tell you, you have perfectionistic thoughts. And those thoughts sound like, oh my gosh, I just overate, I might as well eat everything. And then you go on, a week binge. right? Telling yourself, I'm going to start tomorrow, I'm going to start on Monday, right? Or you gain some weight back and you are just in the house and you're covering yourself with pillows and you feel so uncomfortable in your own body that you're just walking around frustrated and angry, and your relationships suffer because you feel miserable. Like that, ladies, I think about feeling so miserable when I couldn't go to events or I didn't feel comfortable at family things because I thought people, oh my gosh, Shannon gained her weight back. I felt like everybody was talking about me. I don't think they were, but again, these are the stories that live in our minds, right? Like everybody's talking about me, everybody's looking at me, And so I remember that. And ladies, that is not how I want to live my life. And I don't think it's how you want to live your life. Jen, can you think of times where you've avoided things or even it made relationships difficult when you didn't feel at your best? You didn't have this work, even no matter what you weighed. I think
Yeah.
I want to add that in too.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Like even when I had lost all my weight, right? There was still that 10 more pounds, right? The never ending cycle. Yeah, I think that there were times for sure where I was so frustrated with myself or so irritated that it for sure got taken out on loved ones. And I definitely missed events, especially ones where I hadn't seen people for a while, right? The yearly events. And it's like, all those thoughts. Okay, what could I wear that makes me look thinner? Should I even go? Or there was times I just skipped out completely because the thoughts of what others, you said the whole story. They're all thinking and talking about us. It's so funny how we do this, but we all do it. And I just would completely miss out and then be left with regret after because I know really what that time holds,
Yeah.
time with friends or time with like loved ones.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I'm going to go off on a tangent for just a second because we fear the judgment of others because of the judgment for ourselves. I just want you to hear that. You have judged people for gaining weight. You have judged people for, when they lose weight, you have thoughts like, she's going to gain that back. You have those thoughts. And because you have those thoughts, just so you know, because they're almost like covering your own self judgment.
Mhm.
One of the things that we teach in Transform Boss is how to lose the judgment of yourself, because then this is the craziest part. You start to lose judgment for others in your life and you start to stop caring what others think. We all, as humans, at some level, it's just natural. We'll have care about what people think. But what happens in the work that I've done on myself, the noise is so quiet now. Before it used to be a full on like meltdown, all this noise. I mean, I'm not even kidding. There were times where I would be at events that were happy and amazing, and all I could think about was my clothes were too tight. What were people thinking of me? Now, I can go to an event that thought might come in for a second, like, what are people thinking of me? Or did I say this? But now I have this work where I can just transition to what do I want to get out of this? How do I want to feel? And I can just quickly do it. That is the power of this work. And remember, when you judge someone else, it is because of the judgment that you have for yourself. So I just wanted to talk about that. And it's going to transition me into, I want to talk about like the three foundational pieces of the solution. And in Transform Boss, one of the foundational pieces is coaching. You may be like, Shannon, what is coaching? Because coaching is an unregulated industry, I think there are lots of folks who put that label on something and they're not really coaches in my definition of a coach. A coach, it works with you to actually remove roadblocks, to show you the thoughts and the things that are going in your own brain by asking questions. They ask you questions and really powerful questions so that you can start to see what is keeping you from having success. And they work with you for your future. They work with you so that you can build your future self. Coaching is powerful. When a coach asks you a question that is so powerful that suddenly you answer that question and you didn't even know that that was sitting in your subconscious. You didn't even know you still believed that. That it's some of the most powerful moments of my life is when my coach asks me a question and then I just blurt out. Because in coaching, you just want to say what's the first thing that comes to your mind. And I'm like, what? I didn't even know I believed that. That is the power of coaching. I think about coaching too. I think about this in sports. You would never send, your little baby out there on the soccer field without a coach because a coach supports you, helps you, teaches you, shows you, right? So how they show how to kick a ball, we as coaches in Transform Boss, we show you your mind. We show you what's going on there, what's keeping you stuck. That is what coaching is. Now, coaching is not advice. Coaching is not therapy. Coaching is not a conversation with your best friend, although it does feel like that sometimes. Oh, for sure. But it's not. My coaches are trained, including myself, to hold space for you, to allow you to come and show your brain. And I would not be where I'm at in my life currently today without coaching. I would not. I wouldn't have this business. I wouldn't have lost my weight. I would have just still been on the diet roller coaster without coaching. So, Jen, woohoo, coaching. What do you think about it?
I love it. I agree. Like coaching has completely changed my life, how I think, all of the things, how I approach things, and how I become honest with myself, right? As you were talking, I think with coaching, what is so powerful is as a coach, we are coming in from an outside perspective. We don't have attachment to the relationships. We don't have attachment or emotion to what's going on. And when you're emotionally charged by something, I think it's harder to see the whole picture, right? And as a coach, you get to bring that to your clients and help them see that. And sometimes ask the hard questions. I think we sometimes avoid that ourselves. And I love a good, always with love, but Shannon's given me some good, tough love questions that have really challenged my brain and made me think differently about how stubborn I was being on certain topics and really opened my mind to see, oh, maybe this is the other person's perspective or their view or their experience. But yeah, coaching it's amazing. I know for myself, I just accepted the thoughts that were always coming and going. I never questioned them. And it's really allowed me to remember that just because they're there, it doesn't mean that they're true.
Yeah, I mean, it's powerful, right? I think we just live with these thoughts. And so we live so much in our automatic part of our brain that we don't even realize like you are eating and it feels like against your own will. And it's because of all of these thoughts that are just sitting in your subconscious, that are sitting in your automatic brain and all the habits that you've created around food and your routines. And so this is the work that we do with coaching. And part of Transform Boss, that just with the basic membership, you get group coaching calls. And we do group coaching calls where you can come on, you can get coached by me, or you can watch someone be coached. And that is just as powerful. That's how I kind of started with coaching, was watching group coaching. I wasn't the one always getting coached, but I would sometimes get coached, and all the times that I wasn't, I would watch and I would have my own ahas just watching someone be coached because I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm struggling with the same thing. Oh my gosh, like, yes, that's me. Oh my gosh, so and so is coaching me right now, right? And so I know my ladies feel that way too. We'll see it in the chats as someone's getting coached. Ladies in the chat are like, oh my gosh, this is me. I feel you. This is my problem, right? And so that is very powerful in itself too. And we also have self-coaching where we teach you how to coach yourself because again, we want to make sure that you have all of the tools that you need so you can have success. And it leads me into the next part, the next foundation of the solution is having the tools so that you know how to lose weight for the long term. And when I think of tools for long-term weight loss, I think of the thought cycle that we teach. I think about the realistic plan. I think about what do you do when every night you're eating a snack? And you're just like, I don't know what to do. Right. And so what I've developed in Transform Boss is a course. And in this course, it's very simple. We actually have in April. So if you're listening to this in the future, it will already be out. But in the middle of April, the 22nd, actually, we're going to release our new enhanced course. And it's very simple. And it gives you here's how to do it. And then it gives you here's how to apply it. And then here's how to have success with it. Again, these tools I think I like to call it the process of losing weight for the last time. Again, it helps you when you're like feeling good and the next thing you know, you had a really bad day and you just feel distraught and you feel like, I just need to eat that ice cream. Tomorrow I'll make it up. Tomorrow I'll be better. And what I want to show you is how to have a bad day and not eat the ice cream unless you wanted to, unless you're eating it because you wanted to enjoy it. I'm going to teach you that too. I'm going to teach you how to have allowance with food, how to stop labeling food as healthy and not healthy and bad or good or blah, blah, blah. All those labels we put on food. I want you to lose the guilt and the shame around food. That is what we do in the course. What do you think, Jen?
I mean, I'm very excited for this enhanced course. I think sometimes we think we need more, we need bigger, and really simplifying it is just where we really can grab onto concepts and apply them. And what I love about our course is that you can go back to any course section that you want at any time. Shannon does these videos and explains it. So you get visual, you get auditory learning, we have worksheets. There's learning with all the different types of, whatever is kind of your way of learning, we've got it. And I think too, I know as I started the course, I was like, okay, well, once I get through the course, then what? Well, guess what? When you go through it, you now have learned the tools, you have applied them. And when you need to go back for something, you're looking at it from a different perspective now. You get to kind of look at it from a up-leveled version and you hear different things. And so I just think it's the gift that keeps on giving, honestly. I mean, I teach, right? Like watch parties, all the things, deep dive calls. And I still, every time I hear the videos, I'm like, ooh, I needed to hear that
Yes.
tonight. And so, yeah, I know I'm ranting and raving about it, but I do. I love it.
Yeah, ladies, you need different tools than a food plan.
Mhm.
I'm just telling you, you want to like get off the diet roller coaster, you need more than a food plan or an exercise plan. I mean, I can tell you, I get caught up in reels. I'm sure you ladies do too. And I can't tell you how many folks are out there trying to like give you a food plan. Here's my steps, and it's all about like eat more protein, which I like some protein, don't get me wrong. But like I need more than that to really have long-term weight loss. This whole eat less, move more. I mean, we've been told that, and it didn't help me, that's for sure. It just made me feel like something was broken inside of me and something was wrong with me, and nothing was wrong with me. I just used food to comfort myself. It's what I did. And every human uses some form of something to comfort themselves. So you can lose all that guilt right now and all that shame. There's no shame. I get that carrying weight, people can see it, right? Other ways that we buffer, people can't see, right? So if you're a shopaholic or you do other things, sometimes people can't see that. And I get that we carry a lot of shame because people can see how we're struggling and how we're coping with it. But I just want you to lose that because you are amazing and enough, and nothing about a scale or this outer package means anything. And so the third piece, which rolls me right into it, is community. You have to have community. I think it's a must. And why is just because I just told you that you were enough. And this is so powerful because sometimes you just need to hear it and you're never going to tell yourself that. And so you need a community when you're having a bad day or when you've eaten off plan or when you are feeling down or you're feeling disconnected or you're feeling lonely. You just need to be able to pop into our community and just look at the post and look at the inspiration and look at other people having challenges just like you. So you don't feel alone. I think in this world, we are getting more and more disconnected from actual humans. Like the connection part, I always say, left to my own brain, I'm in trouble. Like if I just had to live with my own brain and my own thoughts, it's not good. I need people. I need people saying, Shannon, you're okay. I need people saying, you can do this. I need to watch people doing it. I need people who are one step ahead of me. I need people who have gone through the process and who can tell me, like, hey, this is okay. You got this. And again, you can be a lurker where you just look in the community. I mean, we have so many ladies who have lost so much weight and they don't ever post. They don't do anything. They just like, send us their stats when we have the awards at the end of the year. This is how important community. I think, ladies, we have just been trained that we can just do everything ourselves and we need to do everything ourselves. And it just doesn't work. Not if you want the solution to lose weight. Now, if you want to stay on the diet roller coaster, maybe you do. Maybe you like it. I don't know. Maybe you're so used to that pain. Maybe that pain is comfortable for you. You should ask yourself that question. Is that pain so comfortable of being on this nonstop mental roller coaster? Maybe that's how you feel pain. Yeah. It's a good question to ask. These are the questions that will change your life. When you decide that you want something more, that you want something different, that you don't want to feel that pain anymore, that you want to feel relief, you want to feel excited, you want to feel joy, when you want that, you know where I am. But Jen, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that it is so powerful to just have that group of women that you can just fall into and be met with love. And I think I know for myself, when I started, I had to use other women's voices and beliefs in myself first before I believed in myself. And I just think that our community just provides that, right? You can go and instead of feeling like you have to buffer with something else, you can go into the community and you can talk through. You can get coached in the community, right? We coach all the time. Or another member will offer, oh, yeah, I went through this too, and this is what I did. And so I just think it is just such a powerful platform that is missing. And I think we need that. We need that connection in our lives.
Yeah. And going into like free Facebook groups where people are just dieting, that to me is not support. And I say this, I want to say this because I know many of you are sitting up in those weight loss free Facebook groups and they're giving you diet plans. And yes, can you get inspiration? But what I find is the inspiration is not on the work that you need to do. So then you start comparing yourself and you start comparing your journey. And again, you're going back to the diet roller coaster. And so you want a community that supports you in what the process that you're doing to lose weight long term. Because even though those folks are losing some weight, talk to me when they've kept it off for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. This is so important, ladies, because we go back to the diet roller so easy. We're just it's so easy to get caught up in it. And so you need a community who is working on their mindset, who is working on feeling emotion, who have tools like the ones in Transform Boss that you can share and see their experiences. That is what you need. And then also, I think about all the workshops and all the different things that we do so that when you start comparing yourself, you have this mental work, the thought work that can help you change your thinking around that so that you don't have to feel like you're not doing enough. Jen said this earlier, but I would just want to reemphasize this. More does not equal better. More equals failure. Just sit with that one for just a minute. So, Jen, I love this topic, the solution. The solution really is if you want to get off the diet roller coaster, you want to lose weight long term, coaching, having the tools for mindset change, emotional change, starting to change your relationship with food, and then a community of women who are going through the same process, who are not quote unquote dieting, but who are in this to really lose weight and lose it for the last time. That is the solution. And I've created Transform Boss so that you can have the solution. And I tell you, ladies, it's easy, it's simple, it's fun. We do have fun. I'm telling you, our food finds, which is where we share recipes, like it has been a blast, ladies. I'm not kidding. When you come in, you can see all the replays of the ones we've done this year. They're amazing. So we have fun too, because I think weight loss has felt hard and all the things. And so we want to have fun too. We want to make it easy and fun where you get to decide for yourself which parts. You don't have to do all of it. No one in my community does all the things. They just pick out the pieces and we help you to figure out what's best for you in that too. So Jen, anything else, anything that we missed that you want to talk about? When you think about the solution, you think about Transform Boss, anything else?
Just start to trust yourself enough to just begin the process, right? When those old thoughts come in, you can start now questioning them. Throughout these 4 podcasts, we've given some tips and tools and some questions you can ask. And you can just kind of start that process with yourself and just be patient. And I think all of this combination, as we're talking, I've got all the emotions going on because I'm like, yes, if we can just have all the women learn this work, right? To know this, to feel the freedom, to get that relief in a different way and just get to reconnect with themselves. I just think it's so beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Freedom. If that's what you want, freedom. That's what I wanted. I wanted freedom in my mind, freedom in my body. I wanted freedom to decide how I wanted to live out the rest of my life, right? I think about we've been doing this series called The 100-Year Life. And I think about how many more years I have on this planet. And I want the freedom in that. I want to be able to move in my body and I want to feel good in my body. And most importantly, I want to feel good in my mind. I want to release all of the pressure and all of the noise and the chatter that is so negative. I wanted to release some of that. So if you want freedom, come join us. Go to join@transformboss.com. We're just here waiting for you. We are, for sure. All right, my loves. So much love for you. And Coach Jen, I love having you on the podcast. She is a bright light. And when you join Transform Boss, you'll have lots of interaction with Coach Jen. She is really all of our coaches, all of our members. I mean, we just have a really special, special thing. And you can come and be a part of that. All right, my loves. Bye for now.